Early on in the relationship, your relationship seems perfect. You think you found your soulmate. You basically want to move in way too quick into the relationship. Is it safe? Is it healthy? Is it not?
Fool me once, fool me twice. When you had things, might as well be lies. Can you ever get it right? How long will I let this slide? Hit up my girls, pull up, I'm outside. Wait a minute.
Welcome to my channel. My name is Sneh. Hope you can either call me Usne or Hope, whatever floats your boat. It's either way, that's your goal. Hi, thank you for tuning in to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, hello. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, why not? I mean, we talk about relationships, we talk about mental health, and we talk about, we dive into the legal journey as I try to find justice in this unjust system. So today, basically, what we are talking about, what are the early signs that I missed in this guy, in this relationship that changed my entire life. So in as much as I am talking about, I am going to generalize. Basically, let's just say that. So basically, it is very important that we state that in the beginning, it doesn't seem like an abusive relationship. It sounds perfect. One person that, they won't show that they are abusive or manipulative. You think it's a perfect relationship. They introduce themselves as basically the most humble of people. And it would be very difficult for you to find all the drama in them. So basically, what are the most important or common signs that we miss in an abusive relationship or in a relationship that is with a psychopath, a sociopath, narcissist, and so forth? So basically, number one, they move the relationship too quickly. Before you even know what's happening, basically, they've been telling you that they've never met someone like you. You are the best thing that has ever happened to them. They talk about marriage, starting a family, children, and spending their forever days with you. I might have questioned that even my aunt, whom I called Umam, would say that. And I'd say that at this age, in his 30s, why hasn't he found somebody, perfect if he is this perfect? However, again, I am also just so much in love. I'm in love. I'm glad I'm here for all of these nice things. So while he might say that those things, and he wants to spend each and every single time together, the littlest of time, he wants to spend. So basically love bombing. Before you've had, the chance to open your eyes, it feels romantic in the beginning, to be honest. But now they are actually creating, they know what they are doing. They are creating emotional dependence before you've had the time to evaluate the relationship. Number two, they seem like too perfect. They mirror your interests, values, and what you dream of so closely that you think you have found your soulmate. Healthy people do have similar interests and dislikes. However, while they do it, they adapt to exactly what you are and think you want, just so that they can gain your trust. And again, you think you have found your forever. They ignored number three. They ignore small boundaries. After you've made decisions, they will try to pressure you against the decision that you have made. They want access to your absolute everything. They're going to turn up or call in, you know, unexpectedly and the most in what's the word that I want to use, in a time that is just absurd. And they will tend to want to make decisions for you. For example, when he stole my laptops, he thought he pressured me basically to leave the matter to him. Let's just say when I had thought my laptops were missing, he wanted me to leave everything to him, that he will take care of everything, as if I wasn't a person on my own before I met him. So you often dismiss them, as signs of love and enthusiasm, but actually they're a sign of disrespect and lacking boundaries, like I said, disrespect for your authority, as if you were not a person before them. Number 4, they criticize you in subtle ways. They tell you that you are too sensitive. And they say the worst things that you can say to a person that you claim to love, and then pass it off as saying that you are joking. They are joking. No one else would put up with you. No one is going to love you like I did. He said that, and I missed, an opportunity when I say that. And nobody's going to love you like I do. And I had to remind him that I was a person before him. I am loved. I come from a family of love. I love myself. So it is very important that you are yourself, and these are the signs that you seem little, that you might pass them off. However, they are exactly what the person is molding you to be. Those signs are not, those things are not the little things that he says. He's not joking. No, he means it. Now, number 5, they question your reality. They deny things they said. I remember one of the things that he said was that he says to me when I went to open the case, he says to me, the reason why my mother died. No, this is after. However, there are signs. These are just, as saying is, there are common signs that we miss. I possibly have forgotten of what he said, but this comes to mind, that he said that my mother died. What is a word that you do to return? I forgot. Yeah. I'll write it down as I'm editing. I forgot what you said. He said. So, and they tell you that they do things and say things and then pass it off that you are imagining things. You get to question your sanity. And after they did those ugly things, they go back. When you start questioning them and you open your eyes, they rewrite themselves as perfect again. And while you are busy assessing if it is safe to be in this relationship or not, it is already too late, because why? He's noticed that you are picking up on these signs, and he's decided to go back and make himself look pretty again in front of your eyes. Number 6, their stories don't add up. They contradict themselves. They're African misunderstandings, because you've said this, he said this, and he makes it like as if it has never happened. If they've never said it, you are imagining things. You are incorrect in your believing that he said or did not say this, and what he did or not did. And then they have, they make their excuses make sense. I'm going to to go into, like, I'm making an example. Let me just make an example of what happened. In my case, I will tell you this guy. I do not know which year he came to Ladysmith. 2011, 2012, 2013, 2015. Does he even know? 2019. There are different stories to what he had said, and they don't add up. Each time you ask him, there will be another excuse or another explanation why. And because I did not know how things in the army work, I just let it be. But when you go back now that, my eyes are wide open, I'm like, he said this and he said that, and things that I have gotten to find out, they do not make sense. They really contradicting. They lack empathy. If I tell you this person almost took my life away, and the first thing and the only thing that mattered was his motor vehicle, that it got to his mom. And if you're vulnerable to him, he'll make fun of it. He'll mock your vulnerability. Everything is about themselves. Everything will always be about themselves. I don't know what number we are at now, but you tend to find out everyone is the problem. His colleagues were the problem. His family is the problem. I'm sure I am the problem as well, as he has made it to be in court. His ex is crazy, and his other people, and I learned that I too, me, myself, and I am a crazy ex. His boss will, they steal girlfriends. His seniors will steal me as their girlfriend, put his family as toxic. This man, his sister died, and he went from traditional healer to traditional healer because his sister did not simply pass away. It was by somebody else's doing. Hence, he said that my mom had passed away because I was taking control of the situation, basically, what he had done when he had assaulted me. And they will definitely press your buttons and see how much you can tolerate, how far you can go by breaking promises, being late. Faithfulness is always questioned. If he seems too good to be true, he possibly is. He's hiding things from you, things that I found out. And they're good at giving you the silent treatments, and each time you wake up and be against them because they need to be in control all the time. And if you forgive their behavior, it just becomes worse and worse each time. Basically, do not. If they show you who they are at the beginning, believe them because it's going to gradually get worse. They also alternate between affection and withdrawal. 1 minute they love you, the next you are too much. They can't give you, say one wrong thing and they withdraw, giving you the silent treatment, as I said before, ignoring you as if you don't exist. Very unpredictable. So you get into this unpredictable cycle because walking on eggshells, you never know. You don't know whether you're wrong or right. And you want to win their trust back. So that is something that we should worry about. Look out for. Then they never take responsibility. This is why I hate you. I made him angry. The policewoman that called him, asked him why did he beat me up. He says because I didn't want to give him my phone. So basically, I was responsible. It was my fault that he beat me up. He almost took my life away. If I hadn't done this, if you hadn't done that, because you made me angry. So they justify everything. And one thing that they will do, this is 100%, almost 100% what narcissists do and sociopaths and psychopaths will do to you. They will isolate you from the people that you love. So you end up spending less time with family and friends. They draw you to themselves as if they are the best thing that happened to you. Remember, now they will have you avoid your family and solely depend on them. And I wish I saw that. I remember my sister visiting me, and I couldn't couldn't give her time because I was on the phone with her, and she didn't appreciate that. And I brushed it off as being in love with this guy. Be very cautious of this. Just make sure that they're very jealous from the very early stages. I remember I used to date every guy that I spoke to, that I saw. I dated my uncle, by the way. I slept with my uncle, according to him. So you don't need friends. I remember this one New Year's Day, on New Year's Eve, I went out with my friends. Oh, you're like friends are lucky. They have your attention. I'm sure had he been close, I wasn't going to have that opportunity to be with my friends. Because I don't need to worry and I don't need anyone else because he's there and he loves me. So they show signs of jealousy very early in the relationship because you are the ultimate best thing and they don't want to lose you. I don't know. They feel you feel like they are constantly walking on eggshells because you need to choose your words carefully. You need to avoid certain topics that might not sit well with them. You need to worry about triggering their anger, and you need to and each time they're happy, you are relieved that he's in a good mood. Not healthy, Michael. Not at all. You always need to keep on constantly being on, being anxious. And your intuition will always tell you that something is off from the very beginning. And I need you to listen to that intuition. Pay attention to it. I ignored it. I knew I was being love bombed. I told him that he was abusive. He needed to get to therapy instead of walking away. So sometimes I do blame myself. Now, what are the things that you need to note about, a sociopath, a psych, or narcissist, or basically an abuser? Because all of those people are abusing you in one way or another, whether it gets physical or not. It's just financial. It is emotional. It's psychological. It's mental. It is sexual. At the end of the day, it is what it is, abuse. So let's just talk about the terms that we need to note. Narcissistic traits involve, strong need for admiration, entitlement, and difficulty handling criticism. Each time I told this guy he was a narcissist, and You can't deal with his narcissism. He felt like I'm criticizing him. And sometimes he'd get angry. Psychopaths generally include, shallow emotions and lack of remorse. This person almost took my life away. He almost killed me. And yes, he wasn't remorseful of what he did. Instead, he manipulated the situation that I did not report him. That was the only thing that was important to him. When I wanted to report him and go back, he blamed it on that I had, consumed alcohol, which had nothing to do with the situation. Sociopathy often is used to describe a pattern of people that are antisocial, with antisocial behaviors, with who are impulsive and disregard for others. Though that needs to be clinically diagnosed. Like I said, my man was diagnosed. Now, the diagnoses are not important. What diagnosis is he narcissistic? Is he sociopath, psychopath? What the abuse? It's just not important. What you need to pay attention to is how he makes you feel. He should not make you feel like you are small than what you are or you used to be. You should not be afraid to express yourself. You should not be responsible for their emotions or be confused after arguments, leaving you walking on eggshells, being afraid, having to filter your words or who you are around them. And you cannot be constantly needing to earn their love. Love should be organic. Now, with that being said, I hope you do not ignore these little signs because they could leave you in a healthy relationship or have you walk out of that abusive relationship and have you escaped, which is a beautiful thing. GBV, especially this Women's Month. Now, I'm going to leave you with a word of the day, just to remind you what a good relationship, healthy relationship should be like. Well, I'm going to read it down. I'm going to read it out. Healthy love brings peace, safety, and respect. If a relationship repeatedly leaves you anxious, confused, or afraid to be yourself, don't ignore these feelings. Patterns matter more than empty promises or than promises, but those promises are often empty. Now, thank you for being here with me. I do hope you have subscribed. I hope you've learned a thing or two. I hope you do pay attention to those small signs that we often ignore and just pass them out as if it's a little sign and thinking they are going to change. No, they're not going to change, honey. With that being said, love you. See you on my next upload. This has been my journey of the signs that I missed and I made it general. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a thing or two. Now, bye.
You got the best of me, embracing our insecurities. Better to cry and set us free, yeah.